Hey, I'm Ernie Harris, and this is Courtside. I'm joined with head coach John Walker for the Rake County High School boys basketball team. Courtside is proudly sponsored by First Bank. Community banking gives you the win. We're the local team that cheers you on. Local bankers who know your name and celebrate you in all life's big wins. To experience the First Bank difference, visit 1525 Market Street in downtown Dayton or call 423-775-1522. First Bank, member FDIC. Coach Walker, I appreciate you joining us today. And I want to thank Mr. Doug Keelan for allowing us to use the Ray Middle School gym, because it's an empty gym, to record this show. Coach Walker, last night you played Cookeville, the Cookeville Cavaliers. Didn't work out for you in your favor, but let's talk about that game. Leading scorer is your freshman Caleb Martin.
Yeah, Caleb has played great for us this year, coming in with zero experience, obviously, in a varsity game. And I think probably out of the 10 games we've played, I think he's probably been our leading scorer 8 times, somewhere around there. He really can score the basketball. He's got a very good knack for attacking the basket when it's needed, and he's hit a lot of threes this year. Yep. Also, I think he's kind of expanded his game from last year in his 8th grade games.
I noticed last night, Coach, that Caleb went 4 or 5 from the three-point land. That's 80%. Had 4 threes from threes. Also, I want to say he had grabbed some rebounds for you, Coach. He had 5 rebounds.
Absolutely. I think in a lot of our games this year, he's had 5 or more rebounds. He rebounds the ball really, really well. Very athletic kid, long, lanky, probably 6'2", maybe 6'3" even.
Right.
But he is a very, very good rebounder, especially for a freshman. And he pursues it out of his area, which is very important.
Speaking of rebounds, Coach Amari Roddy, senior Amari Roddy, jumped in there last night, grabbed 10 rebounds, had 6 points for you, Coach.
Absolutely. Amari's a first-year player for us this year, and he plays so hard. It's a lot. He is such a great kid to coach because of his attitude and his effort all the time. And man, he's in there mixing it up. I mean, he's probably an undersized post. 6'2" kid,
right?
And he leaps really well, so that helps him obviously rebounding the basketball. But he really mixes it up with guys that are bigger than him,
right.
And that's the physicality of basketball is a lot of times, underappreciated, and he does a great job using his feet and using his quickness in there.
Very nice. Yeah, he was. I think he had 7 defensive rebounds and 3 on the offensive side. Another guy that gets in there for you, Coach, is another fellow senior, Keaton Ray. Keaton Ray had 10 points, grabbed 3 rebounds, and he gets in there and mixes it up too.
Absolutely. Keaton's a kid that played his freshman year and then came back to play this year, his senior year. Virginia Tech signee for baseball. And he's a very athletic kid.
Yep.
Left-handed, which I think kind of gives some people some matchup problems sometimes.
Right.
And he's strong. He's strong-bodied, and he's very, very tough when it comes to taking contact.
Right.
And he plays what we call the 4, which is our trail post, and he has to play in the post some, and he's a little bit undersized also when it comes to post players. He's 6'1", something around there, and.
Right.
But he scored 25 last time we played Stone, which obviously that's going to be a big part of Stone's game plan coming up on Friday for us.
I agree. This past Friday in that game, Keaton went up and down low and amongst 3 other defenders. So he gets in there with the best of them and the bigger guys, and he's not afraid of them.
Absolutely.
Last night's score against Cookeville was 80-56. Like I said, didn't pan out for Rake County, but their record is 0-10. But Coach, I do want to point this out to the fans at home. You look at a record, and sometimes it does not indicate the resiliency of your team, as we've discussed all season. You've lost 5 games by 7 points or less. Harriman, 5 points. Tellico Plains, 6 points. Warren County, a district team, 7 points. Polk County, twice by 5. I mean, what's that say about the competitive spirit of your team, Coach?
Well, I think it says a lot about the kids and about how coachable they are and how much they are buying into what we're doing.
Right.
And it says that we need to make a few more plays because we need to. We got the lead at halftime, which we probably had to lead at halftime 3 times in those games.
Yeah.
You know, we got to finish it out.
Right.
And I think we've had some times where we've had the lead in the fourth quarter, where maybe some inexperience has led us into some bad spots, maybe taking a bad shot or maybe turning it over. You know, we're a more experienced team, you know, might be able to get us in something.
Right.
But that's part of the process. I mean, when you got kids that are inexperienced, you have to teach them when those times come up. And, the kids are so good about listening and trying to execute what we're doing. It makes me proud to coach them. I mean, in that sense.
Like you touched on earlier when you mentioned Amari hasn't played since his freshman year.
He played his freshman year.
Coach, I believe you told me, and looking at the roster here, you have 3 players on this year's roster that played last year or played ever since their high school career, but everybody else is brand new.
Absolutely.
Including 6 freshmen, 2 juniors, and 4 seniors. 3 juniors and 4 seniors, Coach.
Right. Cade Vincent's a senior. He's our senior point guard. He had varsity experience last year. He played in almost every game, I believe, and started some games.
Right.
And then Tyler Dupree and Austin Brackett are juniors that played some in varsity games last year, but the majority of minutes last year were seniors that had been in our program.
Right.
So I think it's very important for our kids to kind of continue to understand that, and I think they do understand that, and each day coming to work and getting better.
Right. Cooper Ruling also hasn't played since his
He also played his freshman
year. Very athletic kid. He also plays soccer. A lot of these kids are very athletic, and like we discussed earlier in the season, a very athletic team. It's just a matter of putting it all together. What would you say?
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised our first practice when we had all our football guys back from football that just how athletic we were.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what athletically we try to do that in the half court. We play half court man a lot, and we try to really pressure people and keep the ball out of the lane using our athleticism.
Right. Like you discussed earlier, you played 10 guys last night, is that right, against Cookeville?
Yeah.
So a lot of guys getting in on the rotation, getting that experience.
Right. And that's something that, you know, we've decided as a staff, we've sat down and talked about we got to get guys minutes and get their experience so that kind of in this stretch run here, which we're in the last 2 weeks here, 3 weeks, that we're going to, you know, have that experience, that game experience going forward to be able to, you know, turn it and win a game here. You know, start winning games and continuing that going forward.
Gotcha. As I mentioned last week with Coach Tracy Vest, the Lady Eagles head coach, teams in your district, Coach, Cookeville, they are 11-9, 1-3 in the district. Stone Memorial is 5-9. They're 2-2 in the district. That's who you have this Friday, Coach, on the road at Stone, Friday, January 29th. Warren County, they're 11-2, 2-1 in the district. White County looks like they're top of the district. They're 17-3, 4-0 in the district. As of today, Wednesday, January 27th. That's the record. Tough competition, Coach.
Right. That district is so competitive.
Yep.
Within that district, who we played Cookeville last night, they started 2 freshmen who were extremely talented.
Yep.
And they have given everyone a game in our district so far. They can beat anybody in the district.
Right.
I think they lost to White County by 8 or 7.
Okay.
Stone beat them 10, I believe.
Right.
And Warren County beat them 8. So extremely close and competitive district. You know, also in that district you got Grant Slatton, who is an Ole Miss signee.
Okay.
And you have Mr. Football at Warren County, C.J. Taylor.
Right.
So you have an athletic district with guys around them that can play basketball, and it is it's a dogfight every night.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It is. They could shoot. Cookeville last night hit 12 threes, Coach. They were hot. They hit 8 of those in the first half.
Right. And I think a lot of that we talked a lot about that at halftime.
Right.
And most of that was due to them being able to get to the lane, and we were helping, and then they're kicking for open threes. You know, if you let teams like White County and Stone and Cookeville get an eye on the rim and get their feet set, they're going to shoot 50%.
Right.
And that's something we talked about at halftime, about being tough and keeping the ball out of the lane. I think they only hit 3 in the second half. I believe they had 11 total. That's, you know, that was an emphasis at halftime. And obviously we weren't where we wanted to be score-wise at the half and even at the end of the game, but I was proud that we were able to correct that and move forward.
Yeah, it looks like, the half was, I think, 53-27. So, but like you said, you shut down their 3 in the second half.
Yeah.
Definitely. Guys, speaking of freshmen starting, I believe you started 2 freshmen last night.
We did.
Right, Coach? Bryce Dupree and Caleb Martin. 2 freshmen. Bryce is also, he had, I want to say, 9 or 10 points against Polk County 2 nights ago.
Yes, he did. He had 9. He hit 3 threes against Polk County. And he also had 13 the Friday before that against White County.
I think he led scoring that night.
I believe he did too.
His brother Tyler Dupree had 10 points against Polk on Monday night.
And Tyler and Bryce are such great kids. They're very mild-mannered, and they don't say a whole lot. But when the ball kind of gets tipped up and they get inside the lines, they're very, very fierce competitors. And Bryce has done a fantastic job stepping in. He played really well in the Harriman game the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Had a high ankle sprain. He was out like 6 weeks.
Yes, he was.
And that was during our shutdown. And so he was getting back into things January 1st and on. And he started to kind of come into his own now again.
Okay. Very nice. Other guys getting some minutes. Gavin Roddy, junior Gavin Roddy, and like you mentioned earlier, Austin Brackett, both juniors.
Absolutely. And I was lucky enough to coach those kids as freshmen, and had a great time coaching them as freshmen, and they're still around here as juniors. Gavin Roddy's just a competitor. He'll guard you. He'll do what's necessary offensively. He attacks the basket really well. And Austin Brackett is like a kid that if we need to be settled down, he's in the game, and he's making good decisions with the ball. He's guarding the ball. Those things that, you got to have like a glue guy. Austin Brackett's that guy.
On occasion, he'll throw up a 3 too.
Yeah, and he gets his feet set. He can shoot.
Season
yeah, absolutely.
Other guys getting in last night were Rex Pendergrass and Kyler Aiken, 2 freshmen.
2 freshmen. Rex has been playing quite a bit for us, and he's been playing since he played in the Harriman game to start the year there, and he hit a big 3 in that Harriman game, big possession in that first half. But he's a competitor. He's an athletic kid, strong-bodied kid, and he's been asked to play on the perimeter. He's been asked to play in the post. So he's a kid that's very versatile. We can move him around a little bit, and he competes no matter where he's at.
I want to say Kyler Aiken had a few points at Polk County.
He scored last night against Cookeville.
Okay.
He hit a 3 last night against Cookeville.
Maybe it was last week. But anyway, 2 freshmen. Another freshman has been injured most of the season, all the season, I guess. Ethan Davis. He's the remaining freshman on your squad. Will he come back this season? Do we know that yet?
I do not think he'll be back this season. He's been with us. He's been sitting during games and coming to practice, and we can't wait to get him back as a sophomore. And he's a dynamic kid. He's very quick. He can shoot it.
He is.
As we saw that, we saw how quick he was on the football field this year.
Yes, very athletic. I mean, Coach, you have a very athletic roster, and the most athletic, and nothing against past teams, they're the most athletic I've seen in a while as far as the total package. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. We got, and the other freshman that's dressing is Malik Wheaton.
And
Malik Wheaton, he's a football kid also, wide receiver, and Malik is a very athletic kid,
Yep.
high motor. He's all over the place. And kind of moving forward, we're going to be looking at some full court stuff. But with timing and practice time, we felt like as a staff that we need to make sure we get fundamental things done first, and then spread from there a little bit. And we're looking forward to finishing out this year strong, and then moving into the off season and continuing to get better.
Very nice. Well said. Speaking of moving forward, like we mentioned earlier, the Eagles take on Stone Memorial at Stone Memorial in Crossville this Friday, January 29th. Game time is at 7 Eastern. Coach,
It'll be
well, actually 8:30.
It'll be 8:30.
Girls start at
Eastern.
7, 8:30 Eastern for the boys to follow. Next Monday, February 1st, Chattanooga Patriots come to Ray County. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, Chattanooga Patriots. Again, that'll be at 7:30. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Tuesday night, senior night for the Ray County High School Golden Eagle basketball teams. Cumberland County comes calling. February 2nd, Tuesday, February 2nd. Didn't go that well last week at Cumberland County, Coach, but hopefully we can give them a little different version of what happened.
I'm expecting a better performance from our kids, and I think they're expecting that also. I think they were extremely frustrated how we played. Offensively was probably our worst game we played that night.
Okay.
And I think that they're looking forward to the opportunity to get to play them again.
Very nice. Of course, I think Cumberland hit a lot of threes also that night.
They did. They shoot it really well. They got a kid that can get in the 20s pretty quickly, scoring-wise, and we'll have to game plan for him and adjust from there.
Okay. Any other thoughts on the season and the progress? It's your first season this year at the helm. Coach Curtis, after 4 seasons, went to McMinn Central, but getting your feet wet, so to speak, it's been a different year, to say the least. Coach Vest and I discussed that last week. He's had it worse than a lot of other people, injuries and quarantines and so forth. But taking the lead, taking the reins from Coach Curtis, and with the new team, you've how's that been for you? I mean, as far as
luckily I've done that before. Previously at Stone as the girls coach, so it was an adjustment coaching boys. I had always coached boys as an assistant, and luckily the guy that I was with and worked with, I did a lot of stuff. He allowed me to do a lot of stuff to get that experience. And but there's nothing like moving from that first seat, to the head coach's seat. You can't really prepare for it, and you don't know what's going to happen. You can expect what's going to happen, but you'll never be able to fully prepare for it until you do it. It was a expedited time frame late in the summer, and then not knowing, we didn't know much. And I know like the football team dealt with this too. They didn't, like, their season's going to be delayed or not practicing. And we kind of had that feeling too. We didn't know what they were going to do, and the kids did a fantastic job just hanging in there and continuing to have the mentality, hey, we're playing and we're going to prepare every day. And I think they were disappointed that we didn't get to play over Christmas and some things, but that first week back, they were chomping at the bit to be out there, and it showed. I mean, I think I watched a lot of film on that week, and we played really hard that week, and I was very proud of that.
I agree. Like you said, you're no stranger to Ray County High School. This is his 7th year in the program. So I mean, the guys knew you coached a lot of them as freshmen, and like you said, you've played 10 games. Everybody in your district's played about 20. So December, you were off 4 weeks. And like you said, when they come out second half this semester, they come out ready to play, and they're playing. They're not giving up, Coach. They're playing like they would every night.
Absolutely.
Their record does not indicate how hard they're playing. And I laud them for that.
That shows you what kind of kids they are and what kind of character they have. And I think that a lot of that goes to their parents and the community, how tough I feel like this community is. And we're preparing every day like we should.
Right.
So eventually that we're going to break that wall down, and then things are going to get better and easier, and that's just our mentality.
Very nice. Well said. Any more thoughts about this week's game coming up?
We got a tough one at Stone. Stone's playing better than they were previous in the season. I know you said they were 5-9.
Yeah.
They played a great schedule. They lost to White County by 3 last night, and it'll be a dogfight. And those guys, they shoot it well there. So we'll have to adjust, and
it's up there.
They played 10 points better there, is what I say usually. So
it happens. I've seen it before.
So yeah, we're looking forward to going up there and mixing it up.
Okay, very nice. Thank you, Coach. We'll be back after this brief message from our sponsor, First Bank.
Community makes us stronger together. How strong? Together, we can lift our whole community, pull our entire town through, break down walls, pave a way for change, even move mountains. Get the strong advantage of a community bank. At First Bank, giving back carries a lot of weight. No wonder local banking gives you more pull. First Bank, community strong.
I want to thank the fans for watching and following along with us on Courtside. If you want to stay up to date with the latest news, sports, and community updates, follow the Herald News on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications for new videos each week. Thank you to our sponsor, First Bank, for your support of Courtside and our community. If you're looking for a bank that cares about the community, they are located at 1525 Market Street in Dayton, or give them a call at 423-775-1522. First Bank, member FDIC. Well, thank you, Coach. I'm Ernie Harris, and we'll see you next week when we're back again with Tracy Vest, head coach for the Rhea County Lady Eagles. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you.
Any last words?
I just appreciate you sitting down with us and talking to us about our kids and showcasing our program.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you next time.